Evil Mitch is going to try to slow us down, guys. He has arranged for all the villains to be in the same spot at the same time, basically acting like roadblocks. The only way to get to Evil Mitch before he destroys everything is to buy the time we need with each of us. He doesn't think that we'll split up. He's counting on it. We have to make sure that Mitch gets to him. He's not right.
What does that mean?
He thinks he's right. He thinks he's the only one that's right. You just need to get there, Mitch. You need to stop him.
That's the plan, man. Are you okay?
Yeah. We just have to finish this, man. I'm tired.
Yeah.
He's in the loop. He's in the loop. He's in the place called the Nexus. I don't know where it is. I know where the Nexus is. It's a center. It's an intrinsic field generator in the very center of the loop. It's I made it. At least in my world I did. I could get you all there if it's the same.
What does it do?
Everything. Remember when I told you about speeding up time to make crops grow fast? Slowing it down to help people that had a disease?
Yeah.
It's the only place where it worked. I tried to recreate it in my lab, but I failed. I failed.
Okay. This sounds batshit, but I have a plan. Something that I would never predict myself doing. Shannon, you're in charge. We do whatever Shannon says.
You watch Mitch as he vomits all over the dirt area here in the backyard of the Butts residence, and there is a crackle on the Mitchy talkies. Doing.
I'm in control.
You and I have to stay together.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
The rest of them can't, though, man. Do you know that?
What do you mean?
I can't tell you, man, but you and I have to stay together. You gotta trust me, man.
You tell me what you need, and I'll do it. You know that.
I need you to be a hero, man, no matter what happens. It all sort of depends on it. No matter what.
Okay.
If we ever get separated again, I'll wait for you in that garret where we had the bunk beds.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Hey, Alpha Tryon for Martha in the morning. Martha here, go for Tryon. Oh, we're wheels down, ready to roll out. You hear a female voice that Butts you recognize as Veronica Kirkshaw. We will give you info for as long as we can, Jimmy. Garrett's gone. Hit them hard, Jimmy. Avenge us. Veronica, what's going on? Spike's hurt real bad. Jackie never made it back inside. Hannah's at the door, but we can't hold him for long. They're breaking in, Jimmy. We're going to blow the station, take a few of them with us. And you see Jimmy drop his walkie-talkie as he starts running back towards Optimus. He is screaming, Optimus, get back to the station, get back to the station. And as it hits, the radio continues. That's not the plan, Jimmy. We always knew this would happen. It's time to finish it.
Go to fall back to Teletran 2.
Wheeljack?
Yeah.
We're stuck. We'll give you as much time as we can, but we have Teletran 2's eye in the sky. We're getting information right now. It's clear all the way to the loop. If you go now, it's clear. They all seem to be focused in the center of town, but it's spreading. The fighting's everywhere, but between you and the loop, there's nothing. We'll hold them as long as we can. So as soon as you sit down and the door closes, you hear, hello, Rob.
Hey, Optimus. Welcome back.
I could say the same to you. We haven't much time, Rob.
We need to save those people, but we need to get to the loop. I don't know what we should do. Optimus, I've never had to make this hard of a decision.
That is the cross that all leaders must bear.
We have to go to the loop.
I will get you there. But when I am gone, the last of the primes you will be.
You'll never leave. You're here with me all the time, Optimus. I promise.
I will be one with the Matrix. And someday, you will too. Until the day.
I can live with that.
But let us take one last drive as father and son.
Let's roll.
So if we set it up right at the Nexus and then we turn it, we will have to, depending upon what you're doing in there, and if there's a focal point for the energy, we would have to either face it directly towards or directly away from it, so it would be on the same plane as the impact point.
Yeah, and then you said we need to send it somewhere. We send it to the spare second.
Good idea. The spare second.
It's a moment at a time that can't hurt anybody.
And I already have its coordinates.
Great.
We're gonna get it.
Oh, wait. Can this help? And he pulls the transceiver out of his Radio Shack backpack.
Ooh! Oh, this is Should we have to connect it here because then it runs back and forth through the circuit now, and then
There's going to be a time when we can't save everybody.
I don't believe that.
And why is that? Why does that time have to be now?
he's trying to slow you down. All he's trying to do is slow you down.
I know, but it doesn't feel right.
He's counting on that, man.
This was never going to be easy. We might have to make some concessions. But this sounds like it's our last chance.
I'm
George,
just getting
Larry.
really sick of last chances. That's all.
You are the son of my spark. I cannot tell you anymore. But for what is to come, you are to know that the parents that love you, that see you as the son of their souls, is myself and Maggie. Know that in these moments.
I know, Optimus. And thank you for everything.
Until the day. Until all are one.
I have a bad plan, an idea. I don't have plans. I'm not in charge. I have an idea. I did it once before. It worked pretty well. What if I push Optimus to the radio tower?
I think we should probably ask Optimus.
This is not my war to lead.
You're going to be the one being pushed, but I mean, they don't deserve what's coming to them. But you know, if he gets there and it's too late, and we wasted the time sending him there when he could have helped us here, I don't know. Send him.
It's 2 and 2. I don't get a vote.
Jimmy?
Jimmy looks at Rob. He was in the truck. He heard everything that went on between you and Optimus. If Rob says to send him, send him.
Do you think you could do it, Mitch? Then let's do it. Let's not waste more time.
He's putting both of his hands on the grill, and he just sort of like leans his head in the center of the grill. Please save them.
Until all are one.
Until all are one.
And then he's gonna just look at Mitch and shake his head. Okay.
He like quickly pulls out the Michitaki, helps on the way.
There's no response. But that's another story.
I need you guys to make a promise. If it looks bad, after you get me through, you run. If you can't win, you cut and run.
I can't make you that promise.
If I think you guys aren't going to make it, this plan's going to be fucked from the start.
Then I guess we better make it.
You're able to keep from vomiting as the Michitakis crackle to life. All right, motherfucker. If we're gonna do this, come on. I fucking dare you.
Okay. So let's go.
Wait,
What?
I want Mitch to promise something too. If
Okay.
you end this, no matter what, it's done. You can't fix it. Don't start it again.
Okay.
Ben's eyes narrow as he looks at Mitch. Swear on us. Swear on the Autobots that you won't try to fix things or do something like he's doing.
Okay. Yeah. Mitch, puts out his hand and just says, let's do this.
You keep from vomiting again, and you just hear the crackle of the Michitaki. You're never going to get here in time. Ben pulls you back, Jerry. You see tears pouring down his face. I lied, man.
What do you mean?
I know more than I'm letting on, man. I don't want to die and not tell you.
What do you mean?
Buddy, we're not all going to make it.
Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for the final episode of the final season of Atari Twilight. This is episode 12, Until All Are One. And I'm not ready for it. So you saw the recap, you know what to do. If you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, Patreon link down below. While you're down there, click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see there is the Michigan bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Greg tortures our souls forever. And two, every single dollar that goes into that goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces that you see here before you. That being said, I turn this over to Greg, the arbiter of our demise. Please take us back to the 80s. That never was.
My friends, for the last time, welcome to Atari Twilight. This is episode 12 of our rollout season, the second part of our series finale. Before we go forward, some mechanics. I will let you know this. I would need somebody to roll leadership for us. And Rob already gets 4 dice for his leadership pool. I wonder why. The other thing that I will say is this. Michigans that come in this evening for the series finale are at my discretion. I may use them to make things worse. I may use them to make things better. I already have one still banked. That one's in play. My friends, if you would, please go to your Spotify playlist. Please go down, if you would, all the way or close to the bottom. Track number 24, Separate Ways by Journey. I don't know why this came up, but boy, oh boy, is it timely.
I will put forward that since last week happened, that Shannon has to roll leadership.
I already did.
Oh, great.
And I got 2 successes.
So as Rob has a pool of 4 dice to use, Shannon, you too have a pool of 4 dice to use. Each of your respective pools cannot be used for your own character, but they may be given to any of the other characters for any roll and in any amount. You can give all 4 dice for one roll, split them up however you would like for any other subsequent roll. My friends, we've had our previously on. We do not need a further recap. This is the second part of our series finale. You are looking down upon the loop, the absolute culmination of everything and everyone that has led you to this point. It stretches before you. You know, at the very center lies a version of Mitch, an evil, older version that, if everything you've learned is correct, is hell-bent on destroying everything for reasons unknown. Between you and him, evil Mitch has arranged for every one of your foes from season 1 and season 2, and all points in between north, south, east, and west, to be between you and him, to simply buy him time. Your friend Ben, upon being retrieved from where he was held prisoner by evil Mitch, has informed you that this is his plan. He doesn't believe that you can make it to him in time. He believes you will argue. He believes that you will be distracted. He believes he knows you better than you know yourselves. And at this, as you are all together for the last time, you stand with Ben McKenzie, Dr. Holter Arkeville, a good version of one of your foes inside the loop, and Jimmy, Main Street Jimmy, a former peer of yours who has been stuck in a back and forth time travel, now an older man looking at you, ready to help. But my friends, it is as it always has been. The only way to go forward is to go back. And for the last time, I ask you, as you stare down upon all of this, the final objective, what do you do?
Shannon, what's the plan? Is that what it feels like when you guys ask? It's kind of
We gotta. Me and Rob need to go on our own, and the rest of you guys need to back up Mitch so he can get to it. He can get where he needs to go.
Jimmy comes over to you, Shannon. Arkeville, the bad one, he's keeping everyone in an old munitions bunker. He converted, it was his, into a command station. It's just outside of the Nexus. It's on our way there. I don't know. You see that he's very confused. You notice that there is dried blood in both of Jimmy's ears. Things are changing. I can't remember the right way, but I was there. I was a prisoner when I was younger, when I was Chris, and I dove and they couldn't keep me there. But Maggie's there and your dad and pretty sure Sarge is there and Jay, and I think there might be more, but I can't remember. But we got to get Mitch to the end.
Right. Are you okay? And she like kind of points. Are you feeling off?
I'm just dizzy. Things are changing. I'm remembering good stuff, but remembering cloudy stuff too. Ben steps forward and puts his hand on Jimmy's shoulder. Shannon, they want us to split up, but he needs to keep Mitch back. I don't know what that means, but if we get held up, if Mitch doesn't make it to the end, then it's over.
So you don't think we should split up?
I don't know. And you can see that Ben is just as torn as Jimmy. He doesn't seem to be as befuddled and confused, but it seems like he was given information and he has accepted this information as fact. And Ben has been repeating it quite a bit. We just got to get to the end. He has to get there. If he doesn't get there, if we get held up, and it's over. It's over.
Hey, Ben?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I overheard them, man. They were talking, and I heard them. The evil version. And he points over at George, that one, and you.
Where were they talking?
Where they had me, man. Where they had me.
Was I there? But bad.
No, not bad.
Mitch,
In time, man.
Mitch starts mumbling and like pacing, not far, but like 4 or 5 feet back and forth. That's really suspicious, right? Is anyone else right?
I mean, they could have done it on purpose. Yes.
But like if you're like if you think you're a mastermind and you have a prisoner, wouldn't it be really convenient to just slip the prisoner the thing and then he escapes or gets free or whatever and then tells everyone and that's exactly where you want?
Yeah, that's true.
Bad guys get caught monologuing all the time though.
Ben's shaking his head. No, man, it's the truth. I know it's the truth. I know it. They weren't lying to me. I know it.
Can
You
I
gotta trust me, man. You gotta trust me.
Can I make a roll?
Yeah, you can
Here.
make a roll. You can use an empathize here to
Okay.
see if you want to suss something out about Ben.
Ben, you just
2 successes.
Ben is telling you the truth, but he's leaving something out.
I thought you overheard it.
Yeah, man. It's true.
You just said they wouldn't lie to you.
No, I mean, they wouldn't say it around me to lie to me, to get me to tell you all that.
Ben, what else aren't you telling us? You can be honest, because right now at this point, the more information we have, the better.
Shannon, you gotta trust me. You gotta trust me. We gotta get Mitch to the end. It's the only way. I can't. I told you all I can.
So telling us whatever it is that you know that you can't tell us.
It'll
won't help.
change things.
Shouldn't it change things though?
If I tell you, it will. You won't go forward.
What if you just whisper it?
I'll trust Ben.
I believe you, buddy.
He starts to cry.
All right, what's the plan?
I guess we'll stick together.
Okay. All right. Lead on.
She actually steps away. Just give me a second. Jerry. And she kind of ushers Jerry over. In as whispering of a tone as she can. When we first met, you were going to do something that would change you. But I think we need to change this time.
I don't even have a gun.
No, but I think you're capable of more than you believe. You need to protect Ben
Of course.
at all costs, because I think Ben is going to be part of what makes or helps Mitch make it all the way. I could be wrong, but if there's something that he's holding back, then we need to make sure that he makes it too.
I think I understand what you're saying. Don't worry.
You're the
I
gun,
got
Jerry.
this.
You're the gun.
Oh, I didn't understand it all.
Okay. Okay.
We're all gonna be okay.
Right. Shannon's lying. She doesn't believe that. But I don't think Jerry can see that.
Probably not.
All right. Well, let's go then. Shannon's going to lead the way.
And with Shannon taking point, you would all hear Ben just whisper, "Thank you." And as you all start walking, please go to your Spotify playlist. I would like you to go to track number 3, Little Toy Soldiers by Martika. And as you dip down into the valley that is the loop, several things start to come into focus. There is a war raging in different parts of the loop, not in your immediate section as you kind of enter into the area and through the blasted gate that you saw last session. But around you, there are in many ways, torn and dismembered bodies of those green creatures, those gremlins that just seem to be in various states of destruction. You even see large metallic versions of fallen Decepticons. They are gray and cold. Fans would know them to be Rumble and Frenzy. Pulses of intermittent light can be seen deep within the loop and in various buildings and in the 3 large vents. This light will flash. There's no rhyme nor reason to it. It's not sequential, and it's no pattern to it. And around this entire space, sometimes encompassing half of one of these gremlins or one of these Decepticons, is fused and burnt earth in a perfect circle. My friends, roll me and investigate.
One for Rob.
Does Rob have my only success?
Oh, and none of us are paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this moment, those of you that have tuned your Mitchie talkies to the kind of confiscated frequency of Go 106.1, they crackle to life. And you hear from a distance, almost like speaking through a can or down a well, you hear Veronica Kirkshaw as she says, "The loop is firing some type of orbital laser as an anti-personnel defense mechanism. We are trying to jam it, but Devastator's in the building. Optimus has fallen." There's a crackle and a sputter. Another crackle and a sputter. A crackle and a sputter. "It's firing!" Rob. Time slows. You hear Optimus's voice. "Rob, look to the stars." A bolt of light, white hot, is dropping from the heavens directly toward Ben. Frags, my friend, this was your wish. What do you do?
He's gonna grab Ben by the back of the shirt and just toss him. But like a step toss. He's gonna put every ounce of his scrawny arms into this. And pretty much throw him to the ground. Being hurt's better than being dead.
You don't have to roll for this. The rest of you see in the last moments this push of Ben McKenzie as Rob takes his place. Rob, you have a flash, the flutter of a butterfly, a beating of a heart. Do you say anything to your friends?
Till all are one.
It doesn't hurt. You all see Rob Ott turn to dust. Ben starts screaming. "No, it was supposed to be me. No, Rob. No, it was supposed to be me." What do you do?
Mitch is on his hands and knees, futilely scooping Rob into a pile.
Jerry's dumbfounded for a minute, but he's gonna forcefully step up to Ben and lift him up by like the scruff of his jacket, and just start yelling, "Get up! We have to move now!"
Shannon goes to Mitch and locks her arm into his. We have to go.
He's not resisting. He's just carrying whatever he can and crying.
Jimmy just says, as he snaps a salute where Rob fell, got to make it mean something. We got to get Mitch to the end. Jerry, you're going to have to basically do the same with Ben. He just keeps saying, it was supposed to be me, man. It was supposed to be me. It was supposed to be me, Jerry. It was supposed to be me.
Wasn't supposed to be any of us. Let's go.
You all continue deeper into the loop. If you could, please queue up, if you would, track number 4 by Don Henley. As you move deeper into the loop, you see there is a entrance to a tunnel, almost like the top of a stairwell that is turned into a fortified bunker. Beyond it, deeper into the loop, there is a war raging, a battlefield, impassable. Explosions and these lasers that are dropping from the sky seem to frequent this area with extreme precision and numerous attacks. In front of this subterranean tunnel entrance stands Rick Rugen, Carl Baker, and a being covered in insects, vaguely humanoid. My friends, the only way to advance is to take this tunnel. Arkaville points, it should lead you deeper in. It's a straight shot, but... And he looks at the people that are standing there. George, I need you to roll a comprehend or an investigate, and you may do so at a +2.
No successes.
Again, that readout that seems to be just above your power level on the right-hand side of your screen is flittering and filtering through, and it seems to be making sense, but nothing that you can kind of put together. It's starting to almost form words that you shouldn't be able to understand. It's as if it's written in another language that you are slowly beginning to be able to conjugate to learn, but you can't put it all together. Again, if you have luck to spend, you have pride to use, you can push if you wish. It's not something you have to do. You can let the roll stand.
I'd like to use luck. I feel like this is something I should know.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll find out. It's not meant to be.
And again, with that use of luck, what I'm going to say is the next opportunity I give you for this one, in all likelihood, you'll be able to get it, but it's going to take a little time. This is something that you'll now be able to understand that you're focused on it, but it's going to take time. Jerry, you see them. Rugen, your dad, this creature. Ben is in your arms, essentially, and he looks up at you. If you're staying here, I'm staying too, man. What do we do?
do what we've always done. Save these assholes. And Jerry's going to reach into his pocket and pull out a bowl of pennies that he's had for a really long time at this point. The paper's all worn down on the outside, and he's going to hand it back to Ben.
All right, man. And he wraps his fist around the pennies. Jerry, here's the bargain. If you engage them, I'll give the rest of the group a +2 to sneak past.
Yep. Yeah, that's a bargain Jerry would take.
Everybody, Ben will refuse to leave Georgia, or will refuse to leave Jerry's side. If this is what you plan to do.
The rest is on you guys.
Say your last words to Jerry Baker.
I think George will pull out his iconic item, red apple cigarettes, and he gives one to Jerry and lights it for him. Smoke him if you got him.
Jerry's going to spend his last moments looking foolish and coughing because he doesn't smoke.
Remember?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
God damn it. Why are you being polite to me? Stop it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Shannon just leans in and tells Jerry, don't hold back at all this time.
Mitch quietly walks to the two of them and just like looks back and forth with the height difference. Remember what I said. If it looks like you can't win, you run. The point is to get me through, right? So it doesn't matter what happens after I get past. As long as I get in.
We're gonna buy you all the time that we can, man. Just like Rob did.
Get there and finish this.
Mitch hugs Ben. And then follows Shannon.
He hugs you as hard as you've ever been hugged in your life. And you hear him whisper into your ear, Jerry's my brother. You're my best friend.
I know, man. I know. I'll see you on the other side. Both of you.
Hey, Shannon. Kick Mitch's
Yeah.
ass.
You can count on it.
What did I do?
The other one.
Oh.
Yeah.
The person in the group that is going forward, the person, I believe it's Shannon, with the best stealth may roll with a +2.
Okay. All right. Here's my regular roll. And then my 2. Come on. 2 successes.
You will be able to sneak past them. Ben stands beside you, Jerry. How do you get their attention?
I think Jerry's gonna call out, Dad. Hey.
All three of them turn to look.
You got some new friends?
Rugen starts to laugh.
Old
We lost
friend.
one. Flag left us. He starts walking forward and the other two are following. He spreads his hands. He seems healthier. He seems not as thin as the last time you saw him. He's again begun to put that bulk on that he had right after the death of Ben's mom. Someone had to be death. We need another horseman, Jerry. The curse of your father bleeds over to his sons. And he turns to the insect-covered creature and says, "Isn't that right, Denny?" And the insect creature, your brother, looks at you and says, "Kill me, Jerry." Meanwhile, inside the tunnel, my friends, Shannon, Mitch, George, Ben McKenzie, and Jimmy and Dr. Arkaville. Are you moving for speed or are you moving for stealth when you enter down the wrought iron stairs into a large, straight as an arrow tunnel? It's lit by that same white bluish glow and goes just in a beeline. You can't see anything in here. It's as if there are rooms that lead off of this tunnel, but they all seem to go into sealed doors. None of them are open. The battle above has not spilled down into this tunnel. If you run, I give you a time bonus. If you use stealth, I give you a sneak bonus. But it's up to you.
How far of a distance is it?
It looks like at least a couple 100 yards, and then there's a slight elbow turn. You're not sure exactly what that means.
Okay. Speed.
Everybody good with that? The leader's spoken.
I was gonna say Shannon's calling the shots, so
Okay, so you all start running. And Arkaville is keeping up surprisingly well. He is being helped by both Jimmy and Ben, or I'm sorry, not Ben, both Jimmy and anybody else that will kind of give him assistance. But the old man's moving. He's moving quickly and he's moving with purpose. And as you go down this tunnel and you hit that slight elbow bend, you come face to face with a face that you remember from the hospital, Shannon. You see the robotic feline visage of Ravage, but it is cold and gray. No life, if that's what it was called, exists in this creature anymore. Not more than an arm's reach for one of these titans away, the blue cassette type body of Soundwave rests. The only blue hint of it in the face, the rest of it is gray, lifeless, and unmoving. After the elbow turn, about 50 yards ahead, the area opens up and you can see and kind of feel and sense here beneath the earth that it widens. And there is a bluish glow coming from the area. What do you do?
Is it just a big open room again?
The tunnel continues, and then you can see ahead that there is a wider space that you haven't had a chance to investigate yet. From that bigger space is a very profound blue glow.
Okay. She slows just a little bit and makes sure that Mitch is kind of between, like in the middle of everybody rather than on the sides or behind. Is Mitch still keeping up?
Yeah, he is. He's keeping pace with you.
Okay. She goes forward, maybe tries to identify which direction the light is in, or is it just overwhelmingly bright in that whole area?
When you get into the area without any need for a roll or investigate or anything like that, you can see that the glow is being produced by these stacks and stacks of cubes. These cubes are all blue in color. and they are glowing this profound bluish glow. This is the same glow that was in the liquid that you all rushed through the tubes in. It now seems to be contained within these almost like cube-like aquariums. They're translucent. You can actually see it as if it's a liquid inside is sloshing back and forth, captured elements of that same energy that you flowed through, that energon. As soon as you enter the area, you all hear a voice. Who goes there? George. The glyphs and ciphers on the right-hand side of your screen come into clear focus. The first two bits of information that you received earlier, you can now read. It says Optimus Prime, offline. Robimus Prime, offline. And the new bit of information that appears says Lord Megatron.
Do we see where this voice came from? Do we see?
It's ahead and it's booming. Show yourselves. I see you on my scanner.
George will let go of Dr. Arkaville and let Jimmy hold him, assuming that he still needs some support.
Yeah.
And kind of like brushes between Shannon and Mitch and says, this one's mine.
Mitch grabs butts. That's fun to say. Mitch grabs George and like pulls him towards him. And he just like very stone cold says, the cubes are explosive. Don't touch them. Don't bump into them. Find a way to use it. It's not your dad. I'm sorry, man. You gotta let him go.
Yeah. Butts just kind of like silently nods, acknowledging it, and kind of goes, well, till all are one. And he turns around and heads into the room.
Since George has engaged Megatron, you all get a +2 to stealth to sneak past. And George, as you walk in, your readings underneath the reading of Lord Megatron says, Energon detected, use caution. Whoever would like to roll stealth, I assume Shannon again, you may do so. You have leadership dice in play too.
Yep, and then 2, just 1 success.
You will be able to pass by, and as you are sneaking through the space, Megatron, the fully realized robotic Megatron, stands to face the area in which George is approaching from. Are you trying to be stealthy, George, or are you walking in to face him directly?
George doesn't have much time for stealth. I think he's more up front. So I think he just broad-shouldered, just walks right in.
You all take this time and you're able to sneak by and through an access hatch that Dr. Arkaville indicates. Megatron stands there for a moment, a beat, another. Without the need for a roll, you can see that he is wounded. He has been through some type of battle. There is energy sputtering off of slashes and what appear to be gunfire across the portion of one portion of his torso, his chest. And when he sees you, he says, Shockwave, my old friend. There you are. The war is done. The primes have fallen. It's over, my friend. We can finally go home.
I am home. And you can fuck off.
You don't remember. My friend, you are confused. Do you know what you are?
I have an idea.
You are a Decepticon. You came here with me. I in the body of the mother, you in the body of the son. I was able to take over Eugene. You remained dormant until time was needed. The war is over. I know it's hard for you, my friend, but you must know that I speak the truth.
I've learned a couple things over the last couple of years. One of those is labels aren't that important. And you can choose them at one time. I also learned that it's not over until it's over.
Then look at it this way. If you can't remember, I have no wish to fight you. You make the call. We can bleed this planet dry and power Cybertron for centuries. Or leave with what we have and spare this place. Come with me and I can show you things you've only dreamed of. Spaceships off the shoulder of Orion. Sea beams glittering in the darkness near the Tannhauser Gate. If you stay here, the humans around you will live and die while you remain eternal. After a time, you will be unable to differentiate between them. Each human life will be lost, like tears in the rain. Will you return with me? Before you say anything, we continue with the other group. My friend, DM me with your response. You emerge from the tunnel. The ground is still littered with fallen combatants, but now more loop robots. Roll me and investigate, Mitch.
Two successes.
You see that in this area, it seems to be primarily loop defenses, meaning it's just those bipedal robots. But you also notice that here and there, these robots have large sections of themselves missing. There are no blast marks around them. There are no scorching or laser fire or explosions. And you're not sure how you know this, but with two successes, you realize that they have been, someone has made them partially dive. Ahead, you see the bunker, and Jimmy points to it. That's it. That's where they kept us. That's where they kept us. And beyond that, another couple 100 yards, Arkeville points. It's the Nexus down here.
Where would you be if you were here? And she looks to Arkeville.
I don't know. I don't want to be here at all, but I guess if I was trying to start the loop, it'd be from there. And he points to the command bunker. That's the same place that Jimmy indicated the prisoners were being held.
Well, if we stop him, then that stops other Mitch, right?
It should, If he can't power up the loop, then I don't know where Mitch would get the energy. Bad Mitch would get the energy.
Right. So let's go there.
Jimmy,
Yeah, man.
can anyone else dive?
Not that I've ever met, man.
And you don't know how your stuff happens?
I just get thrown around. I can't control it, man. Unless that one time that you helped me with the Michitaki. That was the only time.
Hey, Doc, if the dive is like the slide or like the portal, and you can make the portal and you can make the dive, could you science fiction this and make it into like a gun?
It would take time. I understand what you're trying to say, but maybe take an awful lot of power.
Shannon, those aren't broken.
What do you mean?
Those chunks that are missing were partially dove,
Well, like they were
like pushed, like I did to
ripped
Optimus.
apart,
No,
kind
like,
of by.
like how I pushed Optimus, but like just a part. Like I just pushed your arm away, and the
Would
rest
that
of
be
you stayed.
something that you could eventually learn to do?
Probably, but that's a lot. And he like points to the slew of robots. So either Bad Me is real fast, or there's a device, or and if Archival's the one that invented the slide and the portal, and he's the one that invented the portal gun.
Okay.
So if you're going that
So-
way,
I get what you're trying to say, basically saying that it's dangerous because we don't know what caused this.
yeah, but be prepared for that, is what I'm trying to say. It's
Right.
less of a surprise if you know that he has a portal gun.
It might not be a gun. It could
Whatever.
be just with touch. But I get what you're saying. But if we can stop Archiville in there, then other you doesn't have the power he needs to do what he wants to do.
Yeah. Making a lot of assumptions there, but yeah.
Your Archiville shakes his head slowly. You would have thought of that.
It's probably true.
I also don't know what he's trying to do, or if it needs power. The loop needs an immense amount of power to do what I can do naturally. So maybe he's the power source. I don't know. Or Ben was wrong and I'm the power source, and that's why I need to be there.
Do we need that power to do the 1 second loop thing that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Archiville nods his head.
So we need them to turn on the power either way.
If it's just on, it's okay. We can siphon the power directly from the loop. If he's going to activate the accelerator at full capacity, we don't need that much, I don't think. So just if maybe not doing what Bad Me is going to do, but keeping the loop on, he's almost getting, does that make sense?
We can still take him out. If you think that's, we can still take out.
So we just need this
Archiville.
loop's energy. We don't want him. Okay, so then we just prevent him from connecting to the others.
He
Okay.
seems to nod.
Plus, if it's a holding cell, then we could use all the people we could get.
That's true.
Are you guys walking and talking as you do this, by the way? Or are you kind of huddled up somewhere?
Are the bots patrolling like in
This place
an
is like
aggressive
a ghost town.
Okay, so they're all like disabled.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
we could.
I mean,
we're
they're
probably
not even
walking
sparking
slowly.
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, then if they're disabled, then we're walking.
Yeah.
Roll me and investigate somebody. Just one person, please.
Okay, I'll do it. Fudge monkeys. Nope.
You're not sure. Yeah, Shannon, for you, it's more like the wind changes. And you just see the spindly form of Arkaville leap forward. And he says, "No, Frank, no!" And you see Frankenstein's monster, not the kindly Frank that Holter remembers, for this is not a Frank nurtured with love and kindness. This is a monster created by a monster that wanted an attack dog. With a devastating backhand, Frank strikes Arkaville and sends him flying into Mitch and Shannon. But before he goes down, a flash, a pop of fire comes from Arkaville's hands as he ignites the laboratory lighter he used for his Bunsen burners. The pop of flame is just enough to spook the gruesome creature and cause it to lope back off into the darkness. Arkaville is on top of both of you, Shannon and Mitch. Jimmy rushes over to your side and you see his face drop when he looks down and sees Arkaville on top of you all. What do you do?
First, Shannon looks at Arkaville, see if he's going to get up on his own.
He is not.
Kind of figured that.
You see his face is lanced with pain. He still seems to be alive, but his chest is broken. He just says, "My heart." He reaches for Mitch and Shannon.
Mitch hasn't moved.
She takes Arkaville's hand.
He has incredible pain written across his face, but in his eyes there is only love. And though they are trembling with this agony, one of his fingers touches the white band on each of your hands, and he taps them, and you hear him say, "Be good." And then he's gone.
Shannon kind of inches her way kind of backwards and out from under Arkaville and kind of tries to pull Mitch as well.
Mitch slides out and then grabs the pack that he had containing the box with the slide parts in it and just sort of shoulders the pack.
Shannon picks up the lighter that Arkaville was using, just in case.
Yeah, you have it. The three of you stand there. Mitch, Shannon, and Jimmy. Jimmy looks at the two of you. Your dad and the others will be in there, Shannon. So will our Arkaville. He's bad news and completely nuts. So whatever he's doing, I know it's going to... Autobots, if it's okay, I want to go with Shannon. If I can help, that's where it'll be.
The kids, the other kids, they said he's younger. Doc said he has a weak heart and he has bad eyes. He can't deal with loud noises and bright lights.
It's good to know.
Jimmy nods.
Jimmy, do you still have your walkie?
Yeah.
Mitch, is Is it possible to create some kind of a feedback loop with both of these? And she grabs hers.
Yeah, but it would be local. Like I could make a feedback loop. Like
We just need a noise, right?
yeah. Hold on, and he like pulls out the Radio Shack backpack, puts the two of them together, like tunes them to like the same frequency that's like not a normal frequency, and then duct tapes them together, duct taping the button down, and then turns the volume all the way down on both of them and hands it back and says, just crank the knob.
Okay.
Mitch, roll me a tinker for this weapon you have just created.
Take an extra die.
Cool. Greg, I'm going to use my iconic item on this as well, I think.
Let's do it.
2 successes plus... just 2 successes.
If you use this item, you may do so at a +4.
Okay. Cool.
My friends, this is the last fork in the road. Mitch and Shannon, say your final words to one another.
It's been an interesting experience. I can say that. But remember your promise. You can't go back.
Yeah, I know. I know. Get everyone out.
We'll come to you
No.
once we regroup.
Get in. Get your dad. Get everyone there. Go back for everyone else.
Okay.
Okay.
Shannon pulls Mitch and gives him a hug.
Mitch is stiff. He's never got hugged by a girl. The closest was the time he was on a skateboard. And he just stands there. Okay.
Don't die.
Yeah, same. Oh man, it would suck if I go in there and the bad U's there and she just stabs me again. Fuck. Okay. No, I'm not gonna think about that. Okay.
Yeah, don't think about
Good
that.
luck. Good luck.
You too. Come on, Jimmy.
He walks towards the Nexus.
And as Mitch heads towards the Nexus, Shannon, you enter the bunker, which turns into an immediate descent upon some stairs. This bunker is filled with the same bluish glow as the space that was sheltering Megatron before it. But here it seems purposeful, set to a task. It pulses everywhere through veins and lines of light. On the far wall, when you reach the bottom of the stairs, the large space that you see on that far wall, you see the tube filled with energon that you flowed through. Now you're on the other side of Alice's looking glass. So, little soldiers, come for daddy. The voice is nearly swallowed up by the hum of technology.
I'm
You do
actually
know
here
that-
for you.
Oh! Jimmy creeps up beside you. I don't think he knows I'm here.
Good. And she kind of hands him the walkie. Go around.
Okay. You know that disc you carry gives off magnetrine fields, right? Might as well have set up a flare gun.
Maybe I wanted you to know I was here.
He is standing in the middle of the space, but you are still in shadow as the areas around the outside that aren't lit by these tubes of energon are pretty dark. He seems to know where you are, obviously, from the sound of your voice, but he's tracking oddly. Roll me and investigate.
2 successes.
His eyes are pitch black. No whites whatsoever. You hear Jimmy's voice as he creeps away. I don't think I'm going to see you again, Shannon. Thank you for everything you've given up for us. Thank you for being my friend.
She just nods.
Arkaville starts to walk around like a showman. You want a front row seat while I single-handedly conquer death?
Is that what this is all about? Immortality?
He produces, as he looks at the wall of running energon, this device will change the world.
Well,
You want to know how it works?
that sounds like something that you want to say to somebody before they get killed. So no, I don't want to see how it works.
You're not interested. Your dad was. His little friends were. Sarge and Thrice. She was a sneaky little one. He said you'd show up, said you wanted your hill, whatever the hell that means. Do you want your hill? Is this your hill, little soldier? Are you ready to die on it?
The question really is if you're ready to die for this supposed vision of changing the world.
I have no intention of dying. In fact, I fully intend to live forever. And it's at this point that it's more profoundly apparent that this Arkaville, unlike the elderly man who just died in your arms on the surface, he is at least 30 years younger. He seems well. He's got long hair, just as the elder Arkaville did, but he's vibrant, healthy, and strong. Jeff Bridges, everybody, for a face claim. I'm going to live forever, and so is everyone else. We don't have a good God here on earth. Not until tonight.
Is the floor like kind of smooth, slippery? Like what is the texture of the floor? Oh, that's a weird question.
No, sure. It's like a laboratory tile, if that makes sense.
So
it's like
if
that,
it were wet, it would be slippery?
Yeah. Yeah, it probably has some grip to it, but it's also probably a conjunction thing with shoes. You know, so if you had the wrong shoes on and you were down here, you'd probably be all over the place.
Okay. Can I see what kind of shoes Arkaville's wearing?
Oh, yeah, with your earlier investigate, they are impractical loafers, no socks, because we had a discussion about that before.
Would that mean they don't have rubberized soles?
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Okay.
His Achilles heel is actually his heels.
Great. Okay. So are there like containers or cells or anything in this like bunker area? Or is it just like that command control center thing?
Yeah, this whole area, to fully flesh it out, it has low level what look to be stations for multiple personnel. Each station is almost, think of like a command center at NASA, you know, as you would have telemetry at one and communications at another. Basically the size of a desk and a half. You know, you could peer over them if you were seated behind them. And there are 6 of those such stations. None of them are manned. There is a riser, almost like a stage, with what would appear to be a screen behind it if they were displaying, you know, slides or pictures or graphs or something of that nature. And that's where he is standing. Behind him, built into the wall, or perhaps a part of the wall itself, is this vast machine that seems to be at least 90% tubes of this energy and this light that are kind of rolling and moving in and of themselves, almost like a puzzle. And as it pulses and shifts, with each one intermittently kind of firing and rushing this energy around, he is standing in front of it, proud as a peacock of whatever the fuck this is that he made.
Okay.
But he's by himself as far as you can see.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to think. So is there any metal or makeshift bat looking like item, like if it's on a wall or something that Shannon could pry off of something else?
I tell you what, let's roll for this.
Okay.
Roll me a d6. If you get a 5 or 6, there will be a fire axe in a case on the wall.
Okay. Let's hope
Why
and
not?
pray. A 6. Yes.
Look what's right there.
Okay. Shannon will very quietly in the shadow open up the case and take the fire axe out.
You have a fire axe, and for the scene will be a +2.
Okay.
Are you here for your dad, little soldier?
I already told you I'm here for you.
And I tell you
Yeah.
what, I'll give you your dad. No harm, no foul. Sean Locke walks right on out of here.
You want me to just believe that he's unharmed?
Oh, I mean, he's still in one piece.
Why don't you show me?
Frank, get the first one. First one. The first one, Frank. No, no, yes. And you hear a door open. You hear the audible cussing of somebody at least doing a very good imitation of Sean Locke. The Frankenstein's monster walks into the light holding your father. He is thin, thinner than you remember, grayer than you remember along the temples. He sees you. Shannon. And then he lunges at Arkaville. You stay away from her. You. And then Frank just lifts him off the air until he's dangling. Ooh, still feisty. You can have him.
Well,
All yours. A gift of me.
in exchange for what?
Turning around and walking off my hill.
Hey, Dad, what's our song?
He looks at you. We are stardust. And Arkaville looks between the two of you. Yeah, I'm going to need a decision. Frank, get ready to tear that one in half. Your decision? And before you get a chance to answer, Jerry, you and Ben stand before these three. Your brother, Denny, covered in these bugs, says, "Kill me, Jerry. Kill me." And Rugen, much like our former peacock, is strutting in front of your family. Your dad just had to move in on my territory. Melanie was mine. And she would have ended up with me, but your dad here did something, didn't you? And he turns around and he squeezes your dad's face. Didn't you? You never told me what you did, Carl. What was it? Some type of wish, love spell, curse? Your dad jerks. A curse? Shit, Carl, I'm impressed. So you sold your soul to have Melanie fall in love with you. Fucking idiot. Your dad says, "No, I used the curse to make you leave her alone. Don't know why it stopped working." Rugen pauses, and for a moment he turns his back to you. "So you're telling me she fell in love with you by her own free will?" I don't fucking believe it, Carl. Ben looks to you, Jerry. My friend, what do you do?
So Greg, when Jerry like got his superpowers,
Sure. That's a question we should always ask, right?
Well, yeah. We were messing with like high power equipment and focus through a crystal. And Jerry just again saw like a high power energy beam vaporize one of his friends. But he's got these crystals in his pocket.
Sure.
I think Jerry's gonna pull one of them out and kind of like sight down it in his hand like he's holding a pistol, pointed at Rugen. And all the electricity he can muster out of his body, he's going to try to channel it through this crystal and shoot Rugen right in the back.
My friend, roll me a force with this improvised weapon at a +1.
All right. I'll have to roll an extra. I sure hope it works. Oh, all right. So that's I got 1 luck, you know? Seems like a good time to use it.
Let's rock it out, my friend.
Is it
Everybody,
too late to give him a die?
you certainly can do it right now if you'd
Right
like.
now.
I'll let him roll it for the first roll too. Go ahead and roll me a d6 if you want to.
Let's just all right. I'm on a roll.
Okay, so if you re-roll it, you still continue to have that leadership die, but you will get a condition. Or no, you're using luck. You'll get the re-roll or the die from Shannon regardless, even with a re-roll. My friends, please, track 24.
That's 4
Spot
successes.
Woo! Alrighty. So, my friend, as you let this lightning fly, it blasts into the back of Rugen, and he begins to kind of twist, and his whole body spasms, but he does not fall. Instead, almost as if pulled on giant marionette strings, your father begins to, no, as he moves forward, and you see lightning lance on his own fingers and across his own frame. And you see your brother covered in the bugs begin to twirl into a spire as these bugs begin to tornado out from him and come towards you and Ben. And your dad, tears streaming down his face, I can't stop it, Jerry. And the energy is lancing as it's cutting into Rugen. Your father puts a hand in front of the bolt and begins to absorb it himself as Rugen falls away, smoking from his shoulder. When he turns around, the flesh on the right side of his face is ebony black. My friend, what do you do as you continue to maintain this beam that is shooting out of your hand, but your father now seems to be catching it on his end?
My family is standing here with me. Even if they can't. Now get out of the way.
Your dad, his entire body is shaking, and your brother, again, the insects are starting to swarm around you. They're getting blistered and popped by the energy that you're creating. You hear Ben screaming beside you as he doesn't have the same lightning bug protection that you do. And you hear Carl scream out, I can't fight him, but you can. You're my boys. You're all my boys. Roll me and investigate, Jerry, at a +4.
Well, no, that's a 0.
I can give him some when I'm dead, right? My
I can sure you can give him as many as you'd like when you're dead, my friend.
All right. Well, for this moment, I'll give you 2. I'm gonna hold on to 2 just in case somebody else might need some.
No, I couldn't make anything of it.
I'll take it back.
Okay. As this all begins to happen, if you're gonna, are you maintaining this beam?
Yeah, I think he's maintaining and taking slow steps forward. Like he's just trying to clear a path, basically.
Okay. So as you do this, I need you to make another force roll. If you do not get 3 successes, you're going to take a condition.
All right. Yeah. Now I beat Devastator. I feel like this is another time to use pride. Jerry doesn't believe he can fail.
That gives you 1 success, my friend.
I'll take it. No, that's not going to do it. That's 1 success.
Roll me another investigate +4 as you take the condition. We'll go with injured.
0 successes there. All right, should have a condition. There we go.
The bugs are swarming all over you as Rugen begins to move completely behind your father. Your father is spasming, not with the effects of the lightning. His own lightning is surrounding him, but it seems to be him trying to fight against his body to do something. But the spasms are only small, incremental movements. He can't control himself. And your brother, as he steps forward, the only thing he can do is say, "Kill me, Jerry. Kill me, Jerry." As he takes each step with these bugs running in and out of his ears. You can see elements of his flesh that have been riddled with these bites of these insects. I need you to roll me another force, my friend. Another failure gives you a condition.
Bitters, it's been pointed out in the chat that don't forget the +4 dice for your crystals. Or is that a one-time thing, Greg?
He has more crystals. If he wants to use those as he's kind of burning through them, that's a +1 for the crystals.
Oh, right.
I do have 3. Well, I guess 2 if I burn through one. So yeah, I guess I'll burn another one. And no, it's 2 successes.
Again, you take another condition. Though this one is upset, we will equate it as little more than rage. My friend, roll me another investigate. Again, with the same pluses as before.
Hey, I got 2 successes this time.
You're not sure why you look away. But when your father screamed out, "You're my boys. You're all my boys." As you look to your right, you see Ben swatting at the creatures. And when he looks up at you, you see energy lick between his eyes. And it's not your electricity.
Can I reach back, grab Ben's hand, and just like in the Devastator fight, kind of look down at him and urge him with one fist, and both of us to point our fists at the same target, and just nod at him.
Tears streaming down his face. He grabs your hand, pressed palm to palm is the roll of pennies between the two fabulous Baker boys. As with a combined might, one shot by Jerry and a newly formed lightning blast from Ben lances out and hits Carl as he seems to accept it. And you see a smile go across his face, and he reaches back, and instead of trying to grab the lightning from Ben, he wraps his hand around the sheltering Rugen, who immediately starts to convulse with the electricity that's flowing through the mall. And Carl looks over at your brother, Denny. Circuit! And that's all he says. What do you do, my friend?
Well, I think Jerry, like I said, he's been doing this slow press forward throughout this. I think if he's able to push it close enough, he'll hug his father. Just letting the energy flow at this point.
You're able to do it. And despite the stings and the bugs, Ben is able to draw Denny in as well until there is a circle of lightning. And Rugen, being kind of the odd spoke of the wheel, is feeling the energy, but his entire skin has become glossy ebony black. It's almost like it's oil. And he's screaming as it kind of bubbles across his surface. Jerry, I'm going to tell you this. You can end this. You have to become the lightning. You can see that your father is burning up. He's has too much. You can see that Ben hasn't had your experience with this. He's even the short blast that he's given, he's already beginning to weaken and dim. And your brother Denny, he seems already dead. It's up to you, my friend. How do you end this?
Jerry's gonna stop. He's gonna stop. He's hugging his dad, everything's falling apart. And I think at this point, he's probably about the same size as his father. He's grown into a large boy. And he's just gonna look over his dad's shoulder as the lightning kind of fades away. And he's just gonna kind of laugh. You don't matter. You're too late. You can't stop us. And whatever comes, Jerry's ready for it.
Ben wraps his arms around you and Carl as well. And you don't see what comes. But there is a white, brilliant light. What is the last thing that Jerry Baker says?
He'll glance at Ben. Catch you on the flip side.
And Ben and Jerry are gone. George. Megatron looks at you. What is your decision, Shockwave?
You just don't listen, do you?
I am selfish. I want my friend back.
It's too bad. I'm not Shockwave. My name changed a long time ago. I'm Ultra Magnus.
Roll me a charm.
Could I possibly light up a cigarette to deliver that line?
Dude, after the night that I've had, you fucking can light up a cigarette, man.
All right, here we go. Jeez. I rolled like 12 dice and no successes.
Yeah, luck.
Already used.
Again, if there's anybody that wants leadership, you can push it if you'd like. If you've not used your pride, you may. I'm not sure.
I haven't. I do have my pride, and it might be applicable here. It is I'm a survivor.
I'll absolutely give it to you.
Okay. I'll use pride.
Instead of arguing with you, Megatron looks at you and nods. So be it, Autobot. I have no wish to fight you. I am leaving this place. Are you going to try and stop me?
Well, I have to at least try.
If your intent is to attack, is that what you're intending to do?
Yes.
In the bottom right-hand corner, you see an Autobot symbol appear, and it says transform.
Yes, of course, Greg.
My friend, roll me a force.
No successes.
As you stand there for a moment, you feel yourself become lighter as your heels lift and then your toes lift off of the ground. And much like a disc or a magnetrine disc in the palm of Shannon Locke, you lift 2, 3, 4 inches off the ground. And you, around your wrist where a watch would be worn on both of those, you see a halo of light appear as if floating above your wrists on each side. Megatron looks at you and says, "What a waste." And he is going to attack you. As he raises his arm cannon up, I need you to make me a move roll.
3 successes.
The blast goes off, and with 3 successes, you are able to fly and zip like a child of Neverland. And instead of the errant shot striking a cube of energon behind you, it blasts off into the ceiling, creating a huge chunk of debris that falls and narrowly misses one of the stacks. He turns to fire again, but you, my friend, can do something here. What do you do?
So to clarify, this is his full form, like he's fully here, or is this
He is fully, he does not look like Eugene Butts whatsoever. He looks like G1 Megatron.
is there potentially a hose or pipe of energon?
In this
Pretty cool.
area, there you don't see any of the clear ones, but there's piping and venting running everywhere in this subterranean area.
I think he needs a little bit of juice, Greg. I would like to, I don't know if it's slam into him, but my goal is to drown him in energon.
Okay. Roll me a force.
3 successes.
And like you punched the derelict robots in the Magnetrine truck graveyard before the full maturation of your powers, you are able to pull these pipes from the wall as energon begins to spill and rush into the area. This energon is hot. It is bubbling in places. You can see that some of it is a normal temperature, like what you flowed through, but some of it is almost molten as it comes out and sprays everywhere. You can see that he is aggressive, but in his wounded condition, you see him as this begins to flow into the area, touching his feet. He reacts as if acid has touched him, and he begins to back up towards a large kind of open garage type door in the back, not the service entrance that the rest of your friends went through. This is a larger kind of a where deliveries would probably be gone, but without the need for a roll, it looks as if he plans to retreat. He's backing through the stacks of energon. Are you going to stop him? Your father, if that's what you call him, he will suffer for your insolence, Ultra Magnus.
I think with that, it seals Butts's conviction, and he goes to stop him.
What are you going to do?
If I'm still flying, or am I
You
on the
are.
ground now?
You're kind of
I'm
hovering with attitude.
hovering with. I could accept that. I think it's just almost like when I knife-handed the bad butts through the slider. I think I'm going to spear. I'm just going to go for like a spear dive into this guy.
Roll me a force.
No successes.
You spear dive into him. I will allow you to push this. I will allow you to use anything you would like if you want to roll again or take the result.
I'll push. Do I accept the condition before or after?
After, but you will get the condition injured.
Okay. 1 success.
You are able to spear into him. His exterior, though wounded, is still very strong and causes you to bend a bit as you hit. You kind of bow backwards as your body, though strong, can't really match up to the Cybertronian steel that he is. But you're able to kind of sneak your hand into one of the wounds that are pre-existing. And as you knife into him, a huge spew of sparks and energon comes out, igniting the energon cubes. My friend, what does George Butt say at the end?
You'll never hurt anybody ever again.
And like a hero of old, he keeps his word. Shannon. Frank holds your father aloft. Arkaville looks at you. Your father or death? Your decision, little soldier.
Well, I did come for you, but we had this really nice conversation, so I guess I'll take my dad.
Frank, drop him. Drop. Ugh. Your dad drops to the ground. Sean looks between the creature, both creatures, and slowly begins to walk toward you, keeping them. He's backing, kind of walking to the side until he puts himself between you and them. Get out here.
Dad, no.
He's never going to let us go.
I know. Trust me.
He looks back at you. I do. With all my heart.
Shannon kind of gives him a smirk. Hey, Arkaville, I forgot to introduce you to somebody. Hey, Jimmy.
You see Arkaville's back kind of straighten. Jimmy's not sure what you wanted to do. But
she gave him the walkie.
You see an object come flying into view. And just as it flies into view, the first ear-piercing squawk begins to hit from the feedback. I'm going to let you roll force for this,
Okay.
but do it at +4.
Okay.
The gift from Good Mitch.
Okay. So force, and then that was 1 + 4. 2 successes.
Arkaville drops to his knees and he is grabbing his ears and screaming.
Okay. Shannon would like to literally sprint as fast as possible, and she is going to swing the axe at Arkaville's head.
My friend, with that +2 from this scene-driven item, roll me another force as you're going full Happy Gilmore on.
Okay. 2 on the regular roll, +2.
+2, please.
3 successes.
With the 3 successes that you needed, you bury this axe into the head of Dr. Holter Arkaville. A demon is not revealed. A robot is not revealed. He does not stand up and pluck the axe from his head, casting it aside like some god that he claimed to be. He dies. You hear your father scream, "Shannon!" And you feel something reaching for you. I need you to roll me a move roll.
Can I use my iconic item, the leather vest? I know I'm technically not wearing it, but
Absolutely, yeah.
okay.
This is the last episode.
4 successes.
You duck with your father's knowledge and your own instincts. And as you kind of roll forward out of the way, leaving Arkaville, who drops to his knees, still clutching his ears, and then drops to the side with the axe sticking out of his forehead. Content warning. Frankenstein sweeps the air above where your head would have been. Without the need for an investigate roll, the machinery around you, which was loud, that he had to talk over before, seems to get louder and louder. And your dad is, you see him screaming and motioning.
Yeah.
And Jimmy moves deeper in, and you see him at what presumably a bank of cells that Frankenstein extracted your father from. And you see him furiously trying to open them. You see the face of Maggie, of Sarge, and of Thrice, otherwise known as Jay.
Damn it. Ah. Greg, do I have time for Shannon to smash the console behind her with the axe and then make a run for it?
Absolutely, but I will tell you this, a bit of meta knowledge meta. You may disable it, but it may be very dangerous to you.
Well, I'm going to use my pride because I never back down. So whatever that happens will happen.
So as you pull the axe out of where it was placed, you bring it forward. Your father is charging you, trying to stop you. He's nowhere close. Jimmy and the others are safely to the far side of the space. And you bring the axe down. With your pride, there is no need for a roll. There is just a brilliant white light. I didn't think you would all do this. What does Shannon say?
I think she just says, we're all just stardust.
Give me just a second. And Shannon is gone. Mitch, you are alone. The Nexus building is in front of you. How do you approach?
He just walks in.
As you walk in, you enter this large space, or what seems to be a large space, but when the door is opened, there is a set of familiar wrought iron stairs heading down.
It's the it's the electric chair walk. Each step is like slow and purposeful, and he just walks down quietly.
When you get about 2/3 of the way down, you have to reach out and grab a railing as the space kind of rocks and rolls as thousands of energon cubes explode. A second later, there is another smaller explosion. This one is localized, closer, almost next door in that command bunker. Once you enter the space at the bottom of the stairs, it opens up into a pretty mundane laboratory. The interior pulses with a purple light. A massive line of blue energon is intersected in a vast X with a line of glowing red energon. Whiteboards are everywhere. Classic Coke cans are scattered across the floor. Are you trying to be stealthy?
No, Greg, I already know I'm here.
You hear your own voice. That you? Just sit over against the wall and don't ask any questions. You'll figure it all out in a few years anyway.
I'm pretty sure I got it, man.
Cool, yeah, just sit down then.
No, that's not how this goes this time.
You round the corner and you see in front of this device that looks almost like a telescope that has like, you know, like a sight line and a huge apparatus kind of reaching up into the sky. Cool your jets, man. Listen, before you get any ideas of, I don't know, pulling out a gun you found and shooting me, I've got insurance. So have a seat.
What insurance could you have?
The best kind, man. Come on. All right, shit. Do you remember when we were falling off of that tower between trade winds and the mag truck graveyard?
Yeah, laser
And
beam.
the robot swooped in, right? Grabbed you and said, son.
Huh?
Dude, that's me. I just haven't done it yet. So sit the fuck down, man. You do anything to me, you're out of here.
So what you're saying is if I do anything to me, you're out of here.
Paradox is weird, man. Don't you know what I'm trying to do here? Do you know what's happened? You probably don't. I didn't.
I don't really care at this point, I think.
Your friends are all dead.
No, I know. I knew they weren't making it out.
They're all dead.
I got it. I know what death means.
You wait 10 minutes. I'm bringing them all back, bro.
That's what you think.
That's what I fucking know, man. $10. Just sit back, and in 10 minutes, they'll all be here. Like nothing fucking happened, man. I'm resetting all the fucking Garretts.
What's the power source?
This is a beauty, man. You've got a lot of fun shit ahead of you. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a jump start. I probably shouldn't have swore I wouldn't do this shit. But let me put it like this. I knew exactly where the loop was going to expand. All the farms and shit they were going to steal, buy. So over the course of a couple decades, I bought the land next to them. Dude, I hotwired the loop. They have no fucking clue, man. I took it all. I brought them all here. Megatron flag, all this assholes, they're fighting each other. You're welcome.
But why though?
To bring back our friends.
Come on, man. If this is our villain arc, where's the monologue? You've seen every movie.
Bitch, you're getting it right now. I'm telling you how cool I am by doing all this shit.
Yeah, but I already know how cool I am. That's why I'm here.
No.
So why all the other universes? Why Megatron? Why the monsters? Why?
He points to all the whiteboards. It's math, man. I had to make sure I had every fucking base covered. And I mean, I hate to say I told you so, because it's really like telling myself I told myself, but I did, and I will, and I'm a fucking badass.
Okay. All right. I mean, all right. So if I have to wait 10 minutes,
yeah,
before we start the clock, right? I'm sure you got to hit a few buttons. You show me how you hotwired it. Like, I'm sure that's going to be super useful in the future, right?
I'm not going to show you how I hotwire. You got to learn this shit, man. Otherwise, you'll get done too quick, and then you'll try this before it's supposed to happen. I'll let you know this. This is one thing that I told myself that I would. The spare second.
Oh yeah,
that was when the loop pierced the veil. They fucked everything up when they did that. Locke and our dad, it fucked absolutely everything up. But the one good thing was they got that spare second in 87, March 24th to be exact. I'm resetting all the fucking Garretts to March 24th, 1987, before any of this shit happened. Stopping it all. I'm stopping the original loop jump. I'm going to bring dad back. I'm a fucking hero, man.
Why'd you kill us in every dimension?
Because we're fucking stupid, man. We think we know it all, man. And we fucking argue and we don't know it all, man. I do. You know why? Because I fucking won. None of those others would listen to me. All of them are fucking dead because they didn't listen to me. Jerry, Ben, George, Rob, fucking Shannon. They're all fucking dead because they didn't listen to me. You were right, man. And now we get to show them. They won't ever know it. But we're the fucking heroes of the day, man. We pulled the sword from the fucking stone.
Yeah. Yeah. So you need 10 minutes to show everyone who the hero is, right?
You can't stop it, dude.
No, I get it, man. We did our best.
Just have a fucking seat, man. You need an army and you ain't got one.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go hang out over here.
When you turn around, Mitch, there's a hooded figure behind you. Not looming over you, about 5 feet off to your right. Without the need for a roll, you realize that this is the same hooded figure you saw in the garret with the only McDonald's. The hooded figure steps into the glow of the purple, and your older self says, "Holy shit! Did you actually get one through? Fucking good on you guys. If both of you have a seat, more people to celebrate." And the figure reaches up, grabs their hood, pulls it down, and says,
I'm not going anywhere. Who do you think you are? Because you're not him.
"What the fuck are you doing here, man?" "Mitch, this Rob looks 17. What the fuck's going on, man?"
It's been a few years. Figured some stuff out. I'm on your ass now.
You can't stop me, man. It's still just the fucking two of you. You see 4 other figures step out of a brilliant white light behind Rob.
I thought you were good at math.
George, Jerry, Shannon, Ben. One moment you were where you were, and with the pull of a sweatshirt hooded 17-year-old Robot, you are here. What the fuck is going on, man? What the fuck is this? How are you? You're all supposed to be dead.
Guys, I need 5 minutes. He needs
This is
10.
bullshit. What the fuck is going on here? Listen, don't fucking do anything, man. You You screw us all up.
Too late for that. You only need 5?
I only need 5.
Well,
Gort! And you all hear the heavy footsteps of something as it emerges from the shadows behind Mitch. And that large silver robot with the slice of light for an eye steps forward. Told you need a fucking army, man. Fuck him up, Gort. And you see the light begin to glow. My friends, everybody, please go to number 22, excuse me, number 23 on our Spotify playlist. Rob, welcome back, my friend. As your friends gather around you, you need 5 minutes. What do you say to your newly arrived friends? You haven't seen them in a while.
God, we were so young. We'll reminisce later. Get Big Mitch. And he's gonna half step, half charge towards Big Mitch.
My friends, this is your story to tell. Tell me what you want to do. Roll your dice. And if you get 12 successes, you beat Mitch and Gort. And because of the Michigans we received tonight, any conditions you have are gone. Your luck is back, as is your pride. Go get them, Autobots.
Mitch,
So Rob's going to do something that's very not Robbish, as they know. And in his approach towards Big Mitch, he's going to crow hop and just punch him right dead in the face, or attempt to just, yeah.
Roll me some force, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Add whatever I would suggest, adding everything you have to it.
So I'm going to use both lucks. So let's see. I'm just going to boost that up. And also the other 2.
You can use your lucks to re-roll if you'd like. I'll give you more dice to do that instead of counting them as extra dice.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Yep.
1 success. Can I go ahead and roll it again and just give him a 2-piece?
You absolutely can. Yeah. Keep the one that you have and you'll incur a.
Yeah. So he hasn't actually ever punched anybody. It's all been in the air. So this is the first time he's going to make physical contact with a person.
It's a good one, though, as you crack him along the side right by the ear. What's everybody else do as you have 1 success, my friends? Did you want to add your pride into that too, which has been refreshed? Rob?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Why not? Let's do that.
You're at 2 successes, my friends. Who's up next? Oh, did we lose Jerry?
Oh no, bad timing. Gosh darn it.
sorry, he'll be back.
Hey Greg.
Yes.
Is my axe gone?
Nah.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to remember. Shannon's trying to remember some of the stuff that Mitch and her talked about while working on the battle wagon. So they were like the whole summer, right? So he talked about all sorts of mechanical shit that Shannon was kind of paying attention to, but not entirely. And is trying to think of something that would create a vulnerability in the robot. Like something that he would only do. I know it's a weird
No, you're looking for a weak spot. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay. I tell you what, I won't cause you to have a push for this, but you'll need to basically take one of your dice and spend that to roll and investigate. Kind of give yourself a bonus action, if you will. So
Okay.
roll and investigate, and then based upon that will allow you to make your strike.
Okay, so 2 successes on investigate.
That beam of light seems to be the weakest point. Strangely enough, it's just about the size of an axe blade.
Cool. Okay. Is this a very tall robot?
Shannon's got ups, so yeah, you can definitely get up there to make the swing. It's about
Okay.
8 feet tall. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, is this thing like 12 feet or higher? Because I'm just gonna need a boost. Okay.
I will
so,
if you want to go narratively and get a boost from somebody and like
uh,
fastball special this shit.
right, yeah.
I'm all here for it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Who's the closest to Shannon? I can't remember the order in which everybody appeared.
You'd be between George
Oh.
and Jerry.
Okay. She's actually gonna turn to Butts. Butts, toss me up. And she's getting her axe ready.
Prepare for liftoff, and you weaves his
She,
fingers
like-
together.
Yeah, and she just steps and pushes off as hard as she can.
So I'm going to allow you guys to tell me how you do this. I will give you an example. Butts can rocket like a missile towards this thing and have you like prepared to kind of like mailbox baseball it when you go by, or he can throw you as a missile yourself. You all tell me your story and then roll some force for me, Shannon.
Meta, this is your play, so you let me know what you prefer.
I feel like I'm gonna need Butts to back her up, so tossing her is probably the best bet here. Just in case the robot doesn't, get disoriented or something kind of intercedes. Yeah. Okay.
Roll me a force, Butts, just to see
I'm
what
gonna
type of
give
fastball.
my last 2 leadership to Butts.
Okay. 1 success.
You are rocketing through the air at this robot. Roll me a force with the +2 of the axe, of course.
Okay. Dodge. Okay, hold on. 1 more +2. Son of a bitch.
You hit, but it doesn't penetrate the visor. It kind of skitters off the forehead as you fly by.
Okay.
You can push if you want. That's what will happen. But what does happen is up to meta. You may push it, continue it, throw your pride into it.
I feel like Pride is going to be the one to go. She's on a roll with this axe, so yeah, we're gonna go with Pride.
Okay. So you get 1 success as you sink the axe into the visor, causing it to like shorten the glass to kind of bow and split as the crystal or whatever it is that is that translucent material splinters and flies out of the front of the visor, rocketing Gort back, a half step of his giant, silver moon boot. Jerry, George, what do you do to contribute? Mitch, obviously, too, will have a role in this in a moment.
I think while they're doing that, Jerry's gonna give Bad Mitch a look. You were the smartest kid I knew, and the stupidest grown up. And he's gonna punch Gort's knee sideways to try and down him.
Roll me a force.
Take my extras. I got 2 more. They're yours.
Nice. All right, that didn't help.
Never again.
You may pride or push or both. If you
Yeah,
push the roll or use a luck, if you have it, you may use the same dice that were given to you again. They also come back into play.
Yeah, I've got the luck back, so I may as well. I'm better than this. I know I am. That's 2 successes.
It gives you all a total of 5. As you run forward and with an electric fastball to the knee, you crack the haymaker in as Gort's knee bends the wrong way a little bit, a bit of an ostrich effect. George, what do you do, my friend?
I think after sending Shannon, and in that same amount of time, I think that's when Jerry also hits the kneecap. I think I want to capitalize on that momentum and try to hit him from the direction that we would topple Gort. So I'd like to fly into him and just kind of like a
high-low.
Exactly.
Okay. So roll me a force. Any success will cause that to happen because it was set up by Jerry and Shannon for that matter.
No successes.
Push, pride, or both? Or luck?
Use my luck. 2 successes.
2 more successes. And again, anybody can throw the pride into it if they want. That's always a free success no matter what you've already rolled. Mitch, your friends are buying you time.
In the few precious moments that these 4 are kicking ass and or taking names, Mitch is frantically removing parts and tools from his backpack, from Arkaville's backpack, and he is building the contraption that he and Arkaville designed. I'm gonna roll you some shit, Greg.
And this is going to be a part of the defeat. So roll me. I'm assuming you want to go tinker with this.
I absolutely do.
And you get the +2 from the device that you created.
Let's see here. 6. That is 3 additional successes. And Greg, since you are a huge fan of them, and it is the final episode, and it has been a traumatic 3 and change years, I have a little bargain for you, buddy. We need 2 successes.
You sure do.
Young Mitch doesn't know how to hotwire the loop. But he had a pretty good idea when he was talking to Shannon a few minutes ago. And he's pretty sure he can be a power source. I'm going to try to dive the loop without them in it. And Mitch goes with it.
Are you killing yourself?
It's the only way to make sure it never happens again.
Using your pride? Old tinker.
Four successes.
Old Mitch begins to scream. He moves as the walls begin to liquefy around you. He grabs hold of the walls and attempts to stop what's happening. George, Rob, Jerry, Shannon, do something to stop him.
No.
you see that Mitch is holding on to the device that was designed in the back of the moving battle wagon, and Mitch is constantly phasing in and out and in and out and in and out as everything is moving and warbling around.
Rob, did you say that out loud?
Kendall said that. Rob's gonna throw his crystal at him. Not say anything, just hum it right at him.
The one that you wear, the one that from Maggie?
Yes. The crystal.
What do you want to roll? Force, move, charm. You tell me what you're trying to do, and I'll tell you what to roll.
I want him to have a way back if he goes. I want him to have a beacon so we can find him. I don't want him to just disappear. It's the only thing I have. It kept me here. Well, relatively speaking.
With a +2 for the iconic item. Roll me an empathize as you were trying to save your friend.
Oh, that's not it. That's not it either. How do I forget to do this?
/R space 2d6.
Yep, it's the slash first. 2 successes.
The crystal hits him and catches along the loop of, no pun intended, as he just phases in, he catches along the loop of his belt. And when he phases out again, the crystal becomes immaterial as well. And then he's gone. And you all are standing in a field.
Who's all? Is it just the 4 of us, or are there other people?
4 of you and Ben. You see the other people around. You see Jimmy, Maggie. They're farther off. Your father. They seem unharmed, but now kind of bewildered as to why they are lying on the grass and not in a cell or in a tunnel.
Oh, no. That's he wasn't supposed to do that.
Heck just happened.
He wasn't supposed to do that. He's supposed to still be here. We were supposed to win.
I think we just did.
I planned this for 4 years. Okay, he's gone.
He's not gone. We just have to find him.
Better not be, man. He's got my crystal, and I need it back.
Jerry's gonna just reach out and grab Rob by the shoulder and pull him in for a hug. No words.
And Rob's gonna lose it. It's a much stronger hug than you remember.
I believe it.
As you all stand there, The clock flips over to 12:01, January 1st, 1990. Mitch is out there somewhere. He has a gift from his friends and family with him. My friends, if wherever you are, and good things happened and Mitch is found, what do you see happening for your group, your people? What is the happily ever after for each of you? Anyone may go first. This is a dream, a hope. This is not what will be, just what could be, because that's what hope is.
Sounds like nobody else is chomping at the bit, so I guess I'll go through what I had planned. I always like to imagine this as a show, so I imagine it as a scene in the suburbs as a camera pans into a picture window on a middle-class house. In the bottom, it says 1996. This is delicious. Hear some sort of voice, sounds like it's some kind of broadcast, and as it shifts into the room. And in other news, Lieutenant Governor Kathleen Kennedy Townsend made a statement with regard to the disruptions around the Capitol Beltway Expressway from this past Tuesday. Lieutenant Governor Townsend explained that, and then the news anchor stops dead, looks directly into another camera. Don't trust Rita, Clarissa. Find Alpha 5 near Henry and Son Salvage. You can't go it alone. Seek Zordon's guidance. She says we can expect the debris to be cleared and traffic patterns to resume normal operation after this weekend. This is George Butts with WBAL Eyewitness News. Have a good evening and thank you for watching. End scene.
Well, everyone else thinks I will tell you my hope for George. If I could pick a story. The gondola car spasms as the last length of safety line begins to splinter. Inside, 7 souls pray for many things, but none of them pray for salvation. They know no help will ever arrive in time. There are prayers of peace, preparation for what happens next, prayers of protection for the loved ones being left behind, and a small 6-year-old boy and his 9-year-old sister pray for their parents who let their granddad bring them into the city. Tears roll down the little girl's cheeks as the gondola's last length of steel cable gives, and they begin to plummet. Sometimes even the unvoiced prayers are answered. The car's descent slows until they are drifting downward, no faster than an autumn leaf. Gently, they come to rest on the rocks at the base of the mountain they were attempting to summit. Outside the little girl's window, George comes into view, wearing a deep hood and a dark band of color over his eyes. No one else, save her brother, notices him. The rest are too busy weeping. Are you Superman? She asks through the blown-out window. George smiles, but acts offended. Do I look like Superman? No, she says, a smile of her own ghosting her shock-filled face. What do I call you? George seems genuinely challenged by the question. Finally, he smiles again. Call me Ultra. Ultra. Just Ultra. As if beginning a new prayer, the girl whispers, Ultra. Ultra winks and flies away. Because every reporter needs to be a superhero. What are your hopes? They can be
Well,
simple.
I think after all of this, Jerry does want the simple life. You know, maybe he finally pursues that romance. Maybe I can see him staying in Garrett. Maybe the football scholarship didn't pan out, but he's assistant coach for the middle school team or something. And it's a good life for him. He's grown a lot, and he's got a lot to pass on to the next generation, even if he doesn't seem all that smart. He gets it. And I like to think that he and Ben on weekends play in the worst grunge band to grace the county.
Love it. My hope for all of these characters, I'm selfish and wrote these a while ago. So in the middle of a blizzard in the snow globe that is Garrett. It's dead, Chief. Vanessa's going to have this baby in the truck. Jerry steps forward. Pop the hood, Rick. Lifting the hood, Police Chief Jerry Baker assesses the vehicle's engine as the snowstorm rages around him. Quickly removing a glove, he places his hand on the car's battery as lightning dances in his eyes. The vehicle roars to life. You did it! Roaring over the blizzard and the newly reborn engine. Follow me in, Rick. We'll get you to the hospital. Breaking back through the shin-deep snow towards his police-issue Bronco, Jerry sees the two shadows of his 9-year-old twin standing beside the vehicle. I told you two to stay inside. First twin says, well, we thought we could help. Jerry says, you can help by getting in the Bronco. Second twin says, shotgun. Force boy grumbles, but the rules are the rules. The chief smiles as he climbs into the vehicle and waits for his boys to strap in. Dropping the Bronco's plow, he starts to cut a path into the middle of Garrett toward the hospital. Jerry is happy. It is a good life.
Yeah, you win.
I get to say my shit because I love you all. And so
So I feel like Rob will maintain, but he's not going to do well. You get every time he sees any kind of crystal, he grabs it and then just goes into a depressive state for days and tries to, do his best to recreate the feeling of all the times he jumped. He even sometimes just turns his Michitaki on and sits and stares at it in the dark. But these are things he does in private. On the outside, he's Rob. He's older than all of his friends. But it doesn't bother him. He goes about his day to day. He takes over duties at the paperback exchange, and he lives a normal life and does his normal everyday thing. But no amount of crystals can really get to happen what he wants to happen. He can't make communication. He can't jump. He can't do what he wants to do. And I'd like to believe at his very lowest, he finally finds a crystal underneath a floorboard during a remodel. And he picks it up. And the Michitaki goes off. That's it.
you win. Before I say anything about Rob, I need to go to Mitch because I need to know. Does Rob find you?
We see Mitch. We see all of these scenes. And the camera sort of pulls back and warbles as it does. And you see that Mitch has set up what looks like TV screens. But on closer inspection, they are versions of the slide that he has spent time and time and time trying to perfect. And he has one on each of his friends. In every universe, damn it, that they travel to. And he's watching and taking notes, doing his best to not cause ripples in time. But every once in a while, you see him fold up something and toss it into one of the windows, and it lands somewhere just out of sight of the person it focuses on, for them to find something that will help them fix their Garrett.
But when the years creep by, and you've done it, the Garretts are safe. Your effects are passed away. When the crystal finds you, what do?
There is a ridiculous piecemeal antenna that at the base of it is the original Michitaki. And he presses the button. Says, "This is Wheeljack. Is anyone out there?"
Do you go home?
There's a way home.
There always is. The sign flips from closed, but not forever, to open. A moment later, Nee, wearing his brown UPS uniform, backed into the paperback exchange, wheeling a hand truck laden with several cardboard boxes. "Top of the morning, Rob," the middle-aged man says cheerily. "Morning, Nee. What do you have for me?" "Looks like all the normal stuff, but we do have a special delivery." "Is it what I think it is?" "Looks like it, buddy." Rob quickly reaches past the framed picture of Miss Maggie, the activated Michitaki, the sealed and boarded copy of Ultra #1, and finally behind the counter, and a moment later he pulls forth a box cutter. The trembling hand, he holds the sharp edge over the top box of the hand truck. Nee whispers, "It's going to be awesome, man." Holding it up, steeling himself, Rob opens the box, revealing several copies professionally graded and packaged of the first issue of a brand new comic book. Holding it up and revealing the back to us viewers, Rob holds it so Nee can see. Together, the boys of 30 fewer years, they both lean forward and whisper, "Whoa." For several minutes, they simply stare at the cover until finally Nee shakes his head, breaking the spell. "Damn it, I have to go finish my route. Would you?" And Rob just looks at him. "I'll wait till you get back." Nee points a finger. "You're the man, Robot." A moment later, the large brown UPS truck peels wheel out of the lot. Rob, you take the paperback, you look around and take in the paperback exchange, your inheritance from your mom. It smells just like comic print in 1969, like her. You smile as you look down at the comic in your hands, where an ink and color version of this very storefront stares back. At the top of the cover, the title Atari Twilight blazes forth. And at the bottom, in smaller font, it says co-written by Ben McKenzie and Scarlett Blake McKenzie. And as you look and nod, just under one of the shelves between the rows, in a spot near where a clown once broke your finger, you see a crystal. And when you pick it up, the Michitaki crackles. Shannon.
I'm really glad I waited for everybody to go first because this maybe works out. So Shannon, after spending a very short and brief time with her father, just being and reunited with the mother as well, they make a plan and they gather every single piece of evidence and information about the loop, Mitch's research in the graveyard, and everything. And they start basically like a crime scene wall of everything that they could find. And they've replaced everything in the garage with whiteboards and all of the details copied over pictures of whatever Mitch had previously written out that was still available. And they spend however long it takes figuring out where and when Mitch is and hope to bring him back.
And as you do this, getting information that will eventually lend itself to, once Mitch is discovered, finding how to get him, how to bring him home, how to do the math, in many ways, becoming Mitch, to find Mitch. Throughout that time with your father, I'd like to think that there are times when Shannon is finally allowed, well, out along the interstate. Shannon Locke rides her Harley north. Her long hair blows behind her, and her entire presence is the very picture of 1999 freedom. Over the hills she rides, alive in the present and still respectful of her eventful past, but not mired in it. She has no longer any desire to be anything to anyone. Her fate is not predetermined. She is not forced into choices she never wanted to make. That is the past. Now she only has to be two things: a daughter and herself. Beside her, another Harley roars into view. Sean Locke, his hair shoulder length when not trailing behind him, is streaked with gray. His frame beneath the denim has thinned, but his smile is just as white and just as bright. Together they ride through the countryside of Pennsylvania and into New York. Later that evening, beneath the stars, they sit beside a smoldering campfire and their cooling bikes. There, near the farm that held the greatest music festival in history, daughter and father talk about the events of the day. Not once is there a mention of a mad scientist, killer robots, or time travel. And it is not information deliberately omitted. It is genuinely forgotten in that moment. At one point, both look up into the sky, their eyes focusing on the same star. They are stardust. They are golden. They are billion-year-old carbon. And finally, they got themselves back to the garden. My friends, if Mitch is to be found, then there's only one thing left. Decades from now, when the 80s are a channel on Sirius XM radio, Charlie lays in the bed, the cancer moments from taking her. Her 80-year-old eyes look at her husband, Mitch's. Unable to speak, she instead produces an envelope from beneath her bed quilt. Written across the front, it says, "One last adventure." Inside, it says, among other things, "Gather the Autobots and find the first diver. Go back to the beginning, just like Inigo says." The day of the funeral, the Autobots gather to farewell one of their own as Jay Charlie Mitchell is put to rest. Mitch shows the letter to his friends. There is a note for each of them: Ben, Shannon, George, Rob, and Jerry. It proposes the same thing: one last adventure. They all agree. Through the woods around Garrett they march. George carrying Rob, who is sick himself and unable to walk. The Autobots, old and near the end of their travels, help each other through the woods. However, somewhere along the way, the path gets easier. At one point, Rob asks to be put down and finds he can easily walk on his own, his legs strong. Gray hair begins turning dark. Muscles weakened by age grow strong. At one point, they begin to run. The laughter of youth fills the woods. George runs with his friends, not questioning their metamorphosis, but simply allowing the tears to run down his face as he feels more alive than he has in years. The Autobots reach the lip of a large valley, none now older than 14. Holding Charlie's urn, Mitch looks into the valley and sees the object of their quest. His voice catches and tears rush into his eyes. He quickly opens the urn as the wind catches the contents, and he feels his hand filled as Charlie puts hers in his. Dr. Holter Arkaville, the good one, stares into the valley. Jimmy, Dutch, and Nee rush up to look down. Sam and Veronica flank George and Jerry. Van Halen and the Keystones gather. Maggie, Gary, and Sarge and Yuriko, Mr. Derry, Sean Locke, Melanie McKenzie, and Carl Baker, all their friends and family, all that ever walked in the Atari Twilight, stare down into the valley at the first diver. Mitch whispers, "There you are." And the dinosaur stares back. And into the sky shoots the raven, tears of its own coming from its eyes. A brilliant light gathers, and all of them are gone. And that is where we will end our series of Atari Twilight.
Well,
There'll be no outros tonight. You know where to find us. You know where we'll be.
Then I've got one last thing.
Oh, go ahead.
No outros? This is the end?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have one more thing, but I've got something to say before that one more thing, Mike, right?
Go for it.
A brilliant light dims. A creature of silky oil sits on a stump across from Maggie Arkaville. "You've won. Congratulations. I suppose this is farewell, Maggie. It has been And Maggie interrupts. "Double or nothing." "Excuse me." "Double or nothing." "Am I to believe you would so readily wager that which you spent so long winning? Perhaps you care less for your town than I realized." "Garrett is my life and my love eternal, and those that call it home are my children. But there are other Garretts and they need me too." "What is your wager, Maggie May?" "Double or nothing. My Garrett for all the others. If you win, you get them all, including this one. If I win, every Garrett in every world is closed to you for all time." "I know all of your tricks. You've played all of your cards. Do you really believe you can best me without them? Without Rob? Without Jerry? without George, Mitch, Shannon? Can you truly beat me? I believe in my kids. Oh, Maggie May, how foolish. Do we have a deal or not? We do. But don't say I didn't warn you. So, how does this work? Like the very best theater, we take it from the top, dear friend. Very well. From the top. Why are you smiling? You don't know all of my tricks. Goodbye. Garrett, I'd like to thank you for hanging with me all this time. Many of you started listening to me last year, and that's a heck of a commitment to a new DJ. We've seen and heard it all with a soundtrack by the very best rock that's fit to spin. The highs, the lows, the laughs, the tears. We've been together through it all. Garrett, let me make a promise to you on this, my very first day of work at Go 106.1 FM, Mountain Maryland's home of today's hits. I promise to be with you through thick and thin and hopefully provide the soundtrack to the stories of your lives. The time is now 12:23 on Tuesday, January 1st, 1980, and the temperature is a brisk 18 degrees. Time and temperature are brought to you this evening by our friends at the Paperback Exchange, where you can always find your legends and heroes just waiting among the rows. As we say goodbye to the 70s, let's look forward to a new era, a new age. I have a good feeling about the 80s, Garrett. I think we're all going to fall in love with this whole decade. I believe it in my heart. So if you would, why don't you sit back, smile, and darling Garrett, walk a while with me. You're listening to Go 106.1 FM for all the rock that's fit to spin. And for the first time in the 80s, I am DJ Jackie Emrock, and this is my favorite song. A little Led Zeppelin, Over the Hills and